Thank you. Thank you. I'm really honored to be here. I'm happy just to be here as a ticket holder, just to watch everything that's happened. The Stiller family, and that was crazy, and Kevin, and the guy that looks like Dick Cheney at the end there. A very, very nice version of Dick Cheney. He's not a lizard, I don't think, but I think I can just tell you what George is. I'm a comedian, and I do what he did, and he was the first person I knew that I knew what comedy was. Children love to laugh, but most people that make children laugh for a living suck at it. Clowns aren't funny. There doesn't exist a funny clown. If a person was funny, they'd do comedy because you make money doing it. No clowns. There's no HBO clown specials if you make a bunch of money. So clowns suck. And kids just look at them and just go, just please stop trying to make me laugh. There's nothing worse than a person who's not funny trying to be funny, and that's what a clown is. A guy waiting for a bus is funnier than a shit clown at a kid's party. So, but kids need to laugh, so the first time you really laugh means a lot to you. And I remember my first big, like, grown-up feeling laugh, and I saw George Carlin on Saturday Night Live, and he said, what do dogs do on their day off? They can't lay around, that's their job. And something went off, and I just couldn't stop laughing. And the idea was born in my head at that moment. I want to be funny. I want to be a comedian. I didn't know that a grown person could be a comedian. That's an incredible thing to me. And I had other heroes, Richard Pryor, Steve Martin, Bill Cosby, but George was like me. He was an East Coast Catholic. I had something to identify with him. And the first time I remember getting a laugh, I was in fourth grade, and they asked the class, the teacher said, there are 3 bones in the skull. Name one. And I said, the noggin. And I got a big laugh. And I thought, hey, I could do this. I could be like George. So I started doing, right out of high school, started doing stand-up. Didn't go to college, didn't pursue anything else professionally, really. Started doing stand-up. First time I went on stage, I did a minute and a half, and I bombed. It was terrible. But I wanted it so badly that I kept trying, and I learned how to write jokes. And I just had jokes, kind of funny thoughts. And about 15 years later, I had been going in a circle that didn't take me anywhere. Nobody gave a shit who I was, and I didn't either. I honestly didn't. I used to hear my act and go, this is shit, and I hate it. But I've been doing this for 15 years, and stopping now is like getting out of prison. Like, what do you do after 15 years of stand-up comedy? How do you re-enter the workforce? So I was in a really bad place. I hated my act. I've been doing the same hour of comedy for 15 years, and it was shit, I promise you. And I was working places like Chinese restaurants, and I'd do a show in a Chinese restaurant where they don't even know there's a show going to happen. They're there to eat, and all of a sudden you'd go, hey, everybody, and people are like, I'm eating. I don't want to be forced to sit in this. So I was doing a Chinese restaurant called the Kowloon in Boston, in Saugus, Massachusetts, and I was sitting in my car after the show just feeling like, this was all a big mistake. I'm not good enough. And I felt like my jokes were a trap. And I listened to a CD of George talking about comedy and the workshopping it and talking about it seriously. And the thing that blew me away about this fellow was that he just kept putting out specials. Every year there'd be a new George Carlin special, a new George Carlin album. They just kept coming, and each one was deeper than the next. And I just thought, how can he do that? And it made me literally cry that I could never do that. I was telling the same jokes for 15 years. So I'm listening, and they ask him, how do you do all this material? And I'm like, and I hear him, and he says, well, I just decided every year I'd be working on that year's special. And I'd do the special, and then I'd just chuck out the material. And I'd start again with nothing. And I thought, that's crazy. How do you throw away? It took me 15 years to build this shitty hour. If I throw it away, I got nothing. But he gave me the courage to try, and also I was desperate. What the fuck else was I going to do? this idea that you throw everything away and you start over again. And I thought, well, okay, when you're done telling jokes about airplanes and dogs, and you throw those away, what do you got left? You can only dig deeper. Start talking about your feelings and who you are. And then you do those jokes and they're gone. You got to dig deeper. So then you start thinking about your fears and your nightmares and doing jokes about that. And then they're gone. And then you start going into just weird shit. Yeah, eventually you get to your balls. But there's a whole... It's a process that I watched him do my whole life, and I started to try to do it. And I started to think, because he says whatever he wants. What do I really want to say that I'm afraid to say? And at the time I was a father. I am still a father. But at the time I had started, I didn't take off yet. The jury's out. My oldest is 8. I could still split. So far I'm still there. I was having a hard time being a father. And I wanted to say it on stage. And one night I thought, okay, forget all the old jokes. I'm going to start again. And I thought of the first thing. I said, I can't have sex with my wife, because we have a baby, and our baby's a fucking asshole. It's just what I was feeling, and I said it. And the audience went, whoa! And I thought, oh, I'm somewhere new now. And I said something like, I never used to get babies in the garbage, but now I understand it. And they did that. And I thought, I'd rather have that than the shit tepid laughter for my 15-year-old jokes. So I started going down this road. And he was always the beacon for me, always, this guy. He always gave me the courage. He says, the line that Kevin quoted, where he said people that abortion rallies are usually anti-abortion rallies are people you wouldn't want to fuck in the first place. He opened a special with that at Carnegie Hall. He comes out on stage, you have to watch it, and he doesn't milk the crowd for applause. They're applauding, and he goes, they're all going, George, and he goes, yeah, I got to get this out. You ever notice the people anti-abortion rallies are people who want to fuck in the first place? And most comedians would do a good half an hour of really sweet material and couch that joke in but he just had to get it out there. So he set that example for me, and that's the way I've done my act. And since then I've done 3 comedy specials, and I've started down the same road. It's been a massive change for me. I feel every year I've got something to work for. I'm doing exactly what he taught me to do, and on stage I feel a courage to say what I want to say because of this guy. And anyway, a few years ago, I was about to tape my second stand-up special, and he was taping the same night in LA. He taped his last special on the same night that I taped one, and I remember feeling like, this is amazing that I do what this great man does, and that we do it in the same way. And he died, and he kicked me in the balls when he died. It really hurt. And then I remember that, and I don't want to be doing this, I'm sorry, but later I was at it doesn't matter, and my phone rang, and it was his daughter, it was Kelly, and I have 2 kids, and they're girls, so I thought, he's got a daughter, and his daughter's calling me, and I know what it means to have a daughter, because I have 2, and she's calling me and asking me to come and say something about what he meant to me. So that was a big moment for me. I'm very proud to do what George did. I know I was supposed to close funny, but I'm not good at doing stuff that isn't my act, so I'm sorry. But he was a great man, and anything that ever happens to me that's good is due to this guy. And I can tell you, because I do what he did, that it was really hard to say the shit that he did, and that it took a lot of courage. It was difficult. So thanks for coming and honoring him, and thanks for having me.
I don't think life is that important. It's just not. It is not. People get too excited about life. Oh, life, fuck you. It's not that. Make a list of every shitty thing ever that's in life. Life is okay. I like life. I like it. I don't need it. I'd be fine without it. I like life, though. I do. You know how much I like life? I have never killed myself. That's how much I like it. That's exactly how much I like it, with a razor-thin margin. I like it precisely enough to not kill myself. It's an option, though. It's totally an option. I mean, I'm 49. I have 2 kids. I've flipped through the brochure a few times. I've thought of killing myself just to win an argument. You're not supposed to talk about suicide. Even to your shrink. You ever go to a shrink and they're like, have you had thoughts of suicide? And you're like, no, because if I say yes, you'll press a button and folks will run in and hold him down. But you should be able to talk about it. It's the whole world is just made of people who didn't kill themselves today. That's who's here. Is all of us that went, okay, I'll fucking keep doing it. It's because it's an interesting thing about life. Life can get very difficult, very sad, very upsetting, but you don't have to do it. You really don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. You never have to do anything because you can kill yourself. If they send you a letter from motor vehicles, you have to come in and, no, I don't. I'll kill myself. You can do that. You can do that once. But you can do it. And it's interesting because even when life gets bad, people generally choose it over nothing. Even the worst versions of life. Even a shitty, shitty life is worth living, apparently. Because folks are living the fuck out of them. You ever seen somebody and you're like, how did he should kill himself? Why didn't he not? That dude. You ever been driving and you look at the next car and you're like, oh shit. I wish I hadn't looked in that car. That was difficult to glance at, let alone being it. Just a guy in a tan car. Nobody chooses tan. Nobody picks tan for their car. They give you tan. Is that mine? Yeah, it's yours, fucking loser. Made it tan. They shouldn't even make tan cars. It's mean to make them. You look over, you see a guy in a tan car with just dents all over it and a garbage bag for a window. What is holding up his suicide? What is delaying it? What is keeping him from stopping being that? And what would it take? What would it take? What would it take? Both windows are garbage bags? Is that... Seriously, do you know how much misery is involved in a garbage bag for a window? Do you know how many separate moments of shit misery? I canceled my insurance. Broke my window. Duct tape. Here's the truth. Running away will not solve your problems. That's totally true. But killing yourself solves all your problems. It actually does. It even solves world problems. For you. What about ISIS? Kill yourself. Then they'll never get you. Seriously, if everybody who's afraid of ISIS kills themselves right now, then ISIS loses. Because they live in a world of people that don't give a shit. We're gonna cut his head off. Okay. It's not fun now. I think the worst part of being beheaded the worst thing about being beheaded is that you look really dumb right after. That's the worst part. They go like that, you're like, just that's fucking dopey. I don't think they like beheading bald people because they can't do this thing. That's the best part. They gotta go like this. It's not as cool. So just shave the top of your head and you won't have to worry about it.
It's a weird selection process that we have. It's dating, really, is how we evolve, is dating. It's how we choose each other. And dating is a real drag for a lot of people, but I always think it's a nice thing. You know, when I see a date, I'm always happy. When I see a couple on a date, because it means people are still trying, you know? You see a couple on a date, it means there's still courage out there. That takes courage to go on a date, for both sides. Two very different kinds of courage. The male courage, traditionally speaking, is that he decided to ask. He went up to a random woman who he has no idea if she's gonna like him or not, and he walked up to her, terrifying. Everything in your body's telling you, just go the fuck home and jerk off, don't do this. But he walked up and said, hi, yes. And she's like, no, give me a second. And you try to get through this membrane of, you know, and then if it works and you say, you want to go out sometime? Sometimes she'll say yes. And if she says yes, that's her courage. And the courage it takes for a woman to say yes is beyond anything I can imagine. A woman saying yes to a date with a man is literally insane and ill-advised. And the whole species' existence counts on them doing it. And I don't know how do women still go out with guys? When you consider the fact that there is no greater threat to women than men. We're the #1 threat to women. Globally and historically, we're the #1 cause of injury and mayhem to women. We're the worst thing that ever happens to them. That's true. You know what our #1 threat is? Heart disease. That's the whole thing. That's it. Just our own heart going, dude, you can't keep doing this. I told you 3 strokes ago that this is not smart. But women still think, yeah, I'll go out with you alone at night. What are you, nuts? I'll get in your car with you with my little shoulders. Hi, where are we going? To your death, statistically. How do they still do it? If you're a guy, try to imagine that you could only date a half bear, half lion. And you're like, oh, I hope this one's nice. I hope he doesn't do what he's going to do. I love when I see a date. You know, when you see a date, you can tell it's the first date because the way they're walking together, and she's looking up at his face, trying to figure him out, and he's just a mess. A guy in a first date he has no actual personality. He's just a mishmash of different kinds of dudes for a couple of seconds each. Just anything. No cohesive, just like a ransom note cut out of a lot of magazines. Just, yes, I think so too. Whatever, just like a blind dick in space, just thrusting in infinite directions, hoping to find pay dirt at some place. And then sometimes you see a date that's later down the line and something has happened. There's something that happens in a date that I never get to witness, because women do this. They get to do it inside. They get to just decide quietly, I'm gonna let him fuck me. They just get to decide. Something he says, and she's like, that was good, he's gonna fuck me later. And he has no idea. He's still like trying all this shit. He still has no idea he's already in there. And at the time I was a writer for the Conan O'Brien show, and I had written there for 2 years and I was burnt out and I didn't want to do it anymore. So I went to the head writer and I said, I have to quit because I think I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. And he said, take 2 weeks off and we'll pay you for the 2 weeks. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So I had nowhere to go and I thought, maybe I'll go to Russia. I really don't know why. I can't really explain any decisions I made then. Because I have children now, so you don't have to search when you have children. You're not like, oh, what could I do to enhance my life? You're just sort of compelled to do whatever comes at you at a certain age in life. But I was in my 20s, I had no wife, nothing, I had no girlfriend even. I just was this guy and I had money from a TV job and
So I just said, I'm going to go to Russia, because when I was a kid, I used to read Russian novels, and I loved them, and I would open all the windows so I would be cold, and I wanted to be cold like they were. So I just decided I'm going to go. And also somebody told me that the wall had just come down in the Soviet Union and that Russia was a really crazy place at the time. So I said, I'm going to go there. I speak no Russian. I can't even look at the alphabet and understand what I'm looking at. There's no place more foreign to me than Russia. So I went. I went to Moscow, which is, when you land in Moscow, it's just forest, and there's a city in the middle of just forest. It's terrifying. And as the plane goes down, you're like, no, I didn't want to really do this. And the whole time there, I couldn't fend for myself. It was already a country that was just broken in pieces. And the weirdest things happened to me there, and they just became normal after a while. Like I was in a restaurant, and a waiter came up to me, not my waiter, and he said, Coca-Cola? And I said, uh-huh. He said, Coca-Cola, and I said, sure. I don't drink Coca-Cola, but I had learned by that point to just do what they're asking you to do. Sure. So he went to the kitchen and he got a Coke in a can, and he handed it to me, and he said, $5. Because only dollars were worth anything there. And I said, okay, on my bill. He said, no, $5, me now. So I gave him $5, and he put on his coat and he left. He just sold me a Coke on the side and then quit his job. So those are the kind of confusing moments I was having there. And I couldn't talk to anybody, and I was so lonely. It's difficult. I mean, I was alone, and I just sit in the room and go, okay, that was a really fucked up day. I hated that day. And I tried to watch television, and the TV was American shows like Dynasty. And the way they translate, they didn't have, what they did was the sound is a little down, and there's just one man saying all of the dialogue over the whole show. I was there for 2 weeks, and it just was crushingly, I had made no contact with anyone. And then one day I went into the subway. Now, if you've never been to Moscow, the streets in Moscow during the Cold War, they were made wider so that they could have missiles go down the middle of the street for the parades. And if you go there, you'll find out, if you go behind the big buildings, they actually tore the buildings off of their foundations and dragged them back. And a lot of the bigger buildings in Moscow, in the back, they're being held up by like bricks. It's really unnerving how unsafe the whole city is. So the streets are very wide, and you can't cross the street on a green light. You'll never make it. So they made tunnels so you can go under, and those are connected to the subway. And the subway in Moscow, you go down in an escalator and you keep going until you think, it just keeps going. Like, this is so deep, this is really upsetting. But anyway, everyone hangs out in these tunnels. I went in the middle of December. I went to Russia in the middle of December, alone. And I'm standing in the subway, and I'm watching a violin player. And the one thing about Russia, still today, I think, is that no one has any money. So when you see a guy playing the violin in the subway, he's like the first chair violin for like the Russian Symphony Orchestra, because that doesn't pay shit. And at least he can get a few kopecks in the subway. So I'm watching him, and these other people are sitting on the floor, and we're crying. Everybody's crying. Everybody. It's just normal. People are just watching, just wiping away tears. And there's a young fella sitting here, and he looked my age. I was 25 at the time. He looked about 25, and he was tattered and just watching this violin player. And then this group of kids walked by, about 8 children, ranging from 5 to 10 years old, and their faces were dirty, like in Oliver Twist, like they were in a play, like they had rubbed dirt on their face. And they're all wearing men's coats that they're wearing as from the neck down to the floor, and none of them have sleeves, their hands in their sleeves. Their sleeves are just flopping.
They were like street urchin kids. And the coats, it just looked like these men's coats. And you kind of knew all the men who owned those coats are dead. And at least one of these kids killed those guys. Like, I swear I looked at an 8-year-old's face and thought, he has murdered. And that's what they looked like, just tough little kids. And I'd seen them before in Moscow. They work in groups. The guy sitting below me that I identified with called out to the head kid in the front. I don't speak Russian, so I just knew he was going, he's appealing to him. He needed something. And the kid with his hands in his sleeve looked at him suspiciously and said, like, what the fuck, why, what do you want from me? And the guy went, explaining himself, and he showed that his shoe had come apart. And he showed that his shoe was like a flap, and he showed the kid, and he showed him his shoe. And the kid shrugged and said, like, okay. And the kid's hand appeared from out of the sleeve, and there was a tube of shoe glue in his hand. He didn't rummage for it, it was already there. And he handed it to the guy, and the guy fixed his shoe with the glue, gave it back and just did. And then the kid from the other, he took his other hand had a paper bag, and he put the glue in, and he huffed it, and his eyes rolled back, and he got high. And then the group kept going, and I couldn't believe what I just saw. That the misery in this country at that time was so calculable and so predictable that this guy thought, my shoe's broken. Oh, there's a child. He's sure to have some glue in his hand because the state of our nation is so wretched. And I looked, and he looked at me, and I was startled, and then he laughed, and I laughed. And he's the only person I had any contact with in the whole of the Soviet Union. And I realized this is why I came here, to find out how bad life gets, and that when it's this bad, it's still fucking funny. That's all I got. Thank you.
Talked about the tie, Louis. You're breaking my heart. Remember the first time you didn't have the tie, and I said,
right.
what did you dress up?
That's
Next
right.
time you dressed up, I was delighted.
You were really happy.
Yeah,
I know it means a lot to you. I know it's important to you.
If you had a show and you were nice enough to invite me, I'd have the tie.
I know you would. But if you didn't, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't hurt my feelings. But I understand how you feel about it.
Listen,
the thing, I got the jacket, though. I think a jacket and a T-shirt is a decent mid-ground.
I know.
I felt like a jerk with a tie. It's not me.
Really?
I feel like a defendant.
Well, no,
with
the
a tie on.
ties... you feel... Well, the tie is not me either, but it's what I got on.
Yeah.
Now, listen, this has happened to me twice now. I went to see the movie Blue Jasmine, and I'm enjoying the film, and Kate Blanchett,
yeah, she's good.
God, it was lovely.
Very good at acting.
And I'm really enjoying the film, and then I see Andrew Dice Clay, and I say to myself, honest to God, Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and then I see you in the movie, and I think, who knew these guys were so good? Andrew Dice Clay as a serious actor, and you as a serious actor.
No, thank you
in a Woody Allen film. All right. And then you came on the show.
That's right.
And we talked about it, and you had your tie on, and everything was fine. And now I go to see American Hustle.
Yeah.
Nobody tells me you're an American Hustle.
No, it's a secret.
So the movie is going along and along and along, and I'm enjoying it. And Jennifer Lawrence and the big stars who are in the thing. And then there's Louis C.K. again. And in the movie, you're wearing a tie.
That's right. I'm wearing a tie in the movie.
Now, Louis,
I'm wearing a big fat 70s tie. Like
how does this happen? How do you get to be in big movies?
Well, it's like I don't know. They asked me to do it. I don't audition or anything. I don't like to do movies.
Yeah.
And,
what do you mean you don't like to do it?
Well, I don't like auditioning. I don't like trying to get that kind of work.
Right.
And I used to audition, and I never got any parts. And the first movie I got, well, somebody offered me a movie part. They asked me to audition, and I said, okay, and I didn't show up because I hate doing it. So then they're insulted.
Good move.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Just don't show up.
Don't show up.
And they go, well, we made another appointment for you, and I didn't show up to that either. And then they sent me the script and said, put yourself on film in your house and send it to us. And I said, yes, and I didn't do it.
Didn't do that.
And then they called me and said, you got the part. So...
That's crazy. What was the film?
It was called Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. It starred Martin Lawrence, and I had a huge part that is gone because I was so bad. I was terrible. I couldn't remember my lines. I couldn't talk.
But in the two movies that I've seen you in, you're great.
Thank
so
you.
what happened since then that made you so comfortable
I don't know
as
what
an
happened.
actor?
I don't know. I don't know why I was so bad in that movie. The director at one point, he said, his name was, it was Spike Lee's cousin, Malcolm. He said to me, the things you say are very important because if you don't say them right, nobody understands what's happening in the movie. Like, he had to say that to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, but I still couldn't do it.
Now, I'm told in this movie American Hustle that there's a bit of dialogue that you, in fact, brought to the film, brought to the set. It was your idea. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
The story about going fishing?
Oh, yeah, the fishing. Well, he wanted me to tell a story about ice fishing. That was his... He said, tell a story about ice fishing.
Who's he, the director?
Yeah. He... the Lord told me. It came to me in a dream. Tell a story about ice fishing throughout the movie. The director asked me to tell a story about ice fishing, and that's all he told me. And so I tried to come up with it. And the more we filmed the movie, the more I hatched about this ice fishing story.
Well, it's a very effective device, and it's interesting. You would think that the director and the screenwriter would have come up with something. They don't have to burden you as an actor, but it worked out just great.
Yeah, he thought of it right on the spot. He was like, something about ice fishing. Okay, so I tried. Yeah.
Now, so I'm not surprised again. Are you in more big movies?
No, I'm not. I don't really. I'm trying to reach a certain level of fame. I'm not trying to get as famous as possible. I'm trying to reach kind of a sweet spot.
Well, you've come to the right place.
I just, when you start growing in fame, it's because more and more people like you. And only people that like you are aware of you. But then when you start getting your face on buses and stuff, now people that hate you know who you are. And the hate quotient starts to grow a lot. So that's what I'm trying to be aware of.
Is it maybe a problem with self-esteem?
No, it's just that everybody hates somebody sometimes. I mean, everybody is hate. If you're known by millions of people, some of them are going to hate you. There's no way.
Let me just wrap this segment up by saying...
I'm sorry, I should have stopped.
No, you're fine.
20 minutes ago.
Dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. Okay. We'll be right back with Louis C.K., ladies and gentlemen. You filmed... the last episode of your show in, was it Shanghai, is that right? Beijing, China.
That's right.
Ooh. Now, what was the point of that, and what was it like? That sounds like, oh my God, it's got to be hard to do that.
It was hard to go to China.
Yeah.
It's really far away. And
did they know what they were getting? The Chinese people say, oh, look, Louis C.K. wants to come to China. And they probably hacked your computers and stuff?
Sure. Yeah, we had to go through a long, arduous process. We started early in the year of trying to get the rights to go, we had to talk to their cultural, I didn't do any of this. The people that worked for me did all this.
Now, the United States is comfortable with you doing a show in China?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of movies are produced there and stuff. And I mean, it's tricky because I did a stand-up show over there. While I was there, some people were like, hey, do a show. And I did a show in this old Peking theater, this very, very ancient theater. And I was like, do I have to worry about what I say, And they're like, have fun,
Yeah, they're such fun-loving
Yeah,
folks.
they just, we just...
All they want is fun over there.
They just have a great time. That's all they do over there is have a great time.
I didn't realize you spoke Chinese.
I don't speak any Chinese.
That's what I thought. Now, what about the people in the theater?
Well, a lot of them spoke, enough of them spoke English that, they understood enough to be really offended by what I said. So, they got really mad. Yeah, they got really upset.
No, were they upset?
They did. I mean, somebody got upset. The sense I get is that the government doesn't really do anything anymore, but everybody's really scared. So if you do anything weird, everybody's like, stop it. So, we were told like somebody might disappear if you use that joke on the show. They use words like that,
Wow.
I'd rather you didn't use that on your show because I might disappear. Things like that. I don't want to say too much because maybe the guy will still disappear. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
What is the city like? Is it westernized? Is it like a huge New York?
Very. It's more like a giant Dayton, Ohio. It is. It's a huge
Dayton, Ohio.
Smoky. You can't breathe because of the pollution.
Sure.
You just can't breathe.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
And
but it was cool. I mean, I never thought I'd go to China, you know. And
would you go back?
The people I met, I really loved. No. But I'd like to go to another part of China because I love Chinese culture. And
you visited, you were invited to someone's home.
Yeah, we went. I wanted to shoot a scene where I'm up in the mountains in some old lady's house and she's feeding me. So we just drove up this windy road and we found this little tiny old woman. And we're like, can we film here? She says, come in, and she just started giving me food. And so we just filmed me being fed by this woman. So that was a singular experience.
Wow. So was this random? You just dropped by the house and she said, of course, please come in?
Kinda, yeah. Kinda, that's how it works.
Government agent, probably. It's probably a government agent.
Probably. I don't know anything about it. I don't know.
And so that was must have been very, very exciting to be in Shanghai.
Yeah.
And then, I'm sorry, Beijing.
Yeah, sorry. Really doesn't matter.
This other thing I find fairly courageous. You produced, directed, wrote a movie in the late 90s, 98, something like that? And this was like a first outing as a director?
First time I directed, yeah.
And you look at it now, and what do you think of it as you look at it now?
Well, it's very weird. It's a really strange, it's a black and white movie, and it just makes very little sense, but I think it's funny.
And at the time...
I thought it was this really intelligent and important movie.
Right. And you took it to festivals and stuff?
So went to Sundance. Yeah. There was 15 people at the screening. And 2 when it was over. Literally, it was a disaster. Yeah. Nobody wanted to see it. I was heartbroken. I was 28 years old, and I thought, this is my movie.
Right.
It's funny, you know, because when I look back at old versions of myself, I go, what an idiot. You know, any version of me 20 years ago or 10 years ago, I'm like, that. I was a moron. But then I thought I was great.
Right. You know,
but now I think I'm great.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I go through the same thing, and I wonder if it's common to the human experience. If I can't sleep at night, I will start remembering stupid things I have done when I was younger. And oh my God, it gets to be a little frightening.
Does it lull you to sleep? Is that why you do it?
Well, that's the objective. Yeah, but then you wake up thinking, okay, I don't want to. I'm trying to be a better person as we go forward.
I think as long as you think that your past was bad, you must be improving. That's what I think. Right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
that's probably the way it works.
So nobody wanted to distribute your movie.
Nobody cared about it or wanted to see it.
How much did it cost you to make this movie?
About $180,000.
Out of your own pocket?
Out of my own pocket. I had written for you, and I saved some of that money. All the money I made.
That's where that money went.
That's where it went.
Do you ever see Eraserhead?
Sure, yeah. Love David's work, yeah.
Well, anyway, it reminded me a little of Eraserhead.
Oh, yeah, a little bit, right?
So we're going to show, and now you can buy this movie.
Yeah, so it's been sitting literally under my bed for 15 years. No one's seen it. Steve Carell is in it. Amy Poehler's in it for a second. J.B. Smoove, who's in this clip, and he's very funny. A lot of really great actors, and it just sat there.
And now I have my story.
Well, it's about a guy who runs a photo store, which is already something that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. And he's very persnickety. He doesn't like people touching his stuff. He likes things in order. He also goes home and he sits in a bowl of ice cream naked at night because that relaxes him. And then there's this old lady who's very unhappy and her husband's mean to her, but he gets eaten by a pack of wild dogs. So
now the important thing for is it $5?
$5.
$5. You can go to louisck.net.
louisck.net.
Beginning Wednesday. Is it com or net?
Either one works.
Either one works?
Yeah, I got them both.
Oh, you have
both parked at the same site. Wednesday at noon, it goes live.
There it is right there.
You can watch it, and when you buy it,
let's show them a clip.
There you go. That's the website.
Oh, no, that's pretty good.
Funny, yeah. Yeah. It's not for everybody. That would be the tagline. It's not for everybody.
It's $5. How big a deal can it be? So spend the $5 and decide.
And you own it. And nobody bothers you.
No,
we don't
you're
check.
fine.
Yeah.
Not like we're in China here, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
It's called Tomorrow Night. It can be yours for $5 on the website there, the louiscknet.com, whatever that thing is. And it's available beginning Wednesday. All right, Louis, next time.
Nice to see you.
A tie.
Okay, I'll try. I'll try.
I'm going to kill you. We'll be right with BJ.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Thank you for applauding. Seriously, because I did a show where they don't applaud when you go on stage. It's called Mo Betta Mondays. That's the name of the show at the Improv, Mo Betta Mondays. It's an all-black audience. And I had done a show called Chocolate Sundays at the Laugh Factory, which is an all-black audience. And they invited me because they thought I was black because of my name, because I directed Pootie Tang, so people sometimes think I'm black. And so they invited me to the show. So I get there, and they go, "Oh, hi." And I look in the room and I go, "Oh, hi." And then we kind of stand there trying to decide, and I go, "Fuck it, hi." And they go, "Yeah, hi." All right. So I went on, and this is Chocolate Sundays at the Laugh Factory, and it was fucking great. I had a great time because nobody else is trying. They're all up there just acting cool, and I went up there and I tried, and everybody appreciated it. So then, because most comedians don't try. I'm not saying because they were black, but they were all black and unfunny. Every single one of them was black and unfunny. There are far more unfunny white comedians than unfunny black ones. But every single comedian on that show was black and unfunny. Should have been the name of the show. Really. But I was white and hilarious. And also, you know, privileged and lucky to be white. To be white is fucking awesome. It is a very... everybody who's white should just wake up and go, "I'm fucking white, this is great, how easy is this shit? I don't have to fucking explain myself ever. I look people in the eye with confidence, nobody fucks with me, police protect me." It's amazing that black people, all they can hope from the cops is that they'll leave them alone. And we actually get to hope that they'll protect us. It's fucking a chasm of difference. And I'm on the greatest side of that chasm. I am on the fucking sweet side of that chasm. Just a fact, it's not a nice thing, but it happens to benefit me greatly. But anyway, I'm not gonna lie about it. Oh, it sucks being white. White people always complain about something like, "Oh, I don't get to say nigger." Like, oh, white people, why can't? How come they can say it to each other, but like they want to go to the Supreme Court? I should be allowed to say it somehow. It's not right. Just don't. Why do you want to say it so bad? Say it. Fuck. Anyway. So Chocolate Sunday, I didn't certainly do any of that material there. The Chocolate Sunday is great. I just talked about my kid and cars. And then I went to do Mo Betta Mondays, and I thought, I got invited to do Mo Betta Mondays, and that's where I became racist. I became prejudiced, because I said, hey, they'll love me there. Because I just thought, there's black people in that building, so the black people in that building will be the exact carbon copies. There's no way they won't laugh because they laughed the first time. So I went, people were saying, Mo Betta Mondays is not nice. And I'm like, fuck you, you're just white and I'm better. So yeah, I'm white too, but I've been there and I got laughs. And white people that can make black people laugh are very proud of themselves. So I went to Mo Betta Mondays, and it's not at all even close to the same people. They're fucking suburban people in Chocolate Sundays. Mo Betta Mondays, they have the machine, and they're selling cologne in the bathroom, and people are fucking hard, and they do not clap when they bring people on stage. People go on, they go, all right, how about a hand for Joe, whatever, and then he just walks up to silence. I mean, I've never even seen that on any show in my life. There isn't just the benefit of the doubt applause. They just say, let's bring him up, and he just walks up, and the people go, yeah, okay, go. And I went on, and I didn't pay attention to the people before me because they were smart. They didn't go right into jokes. They started talking and shit. They just going, hey, yeah, all right, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just hanging, okay. For like 3 minutes of that shit. And then eventually they go, okay, they slide into a joke and get a tiny laugh. And by the end of the time they left, they go, all right. And then they applaud when the guy left. I go on and I just go, and I do a joke right away, and it gets nothing. And not only does it get silence, when I move on to the next joke, that's when I hear a noise. Because when I start going anyway, so they all go, oh shit, that was it? That was the whole fucking, oh shit! Oh damn! Like they didn't know the joke was over even until I started joke number 2. Joke number 1. So joke number, what? Really? That's what, oh! Then I do joke number 2 and now it's not silence, like, no man, no. Like literally that sound coming out of many tables, no. And then I try the thing that never fails when you're bombing. I go, oh, fuck you people, I'm staying up here. That always works when you're bombing. You go, you know what, fuck you, I'm doing my time. And somebody always goes, all right, yeah, I get respect to the balls. But they all went, no, get off. What guy said that? Just real serious, no, get off. Get off now. And I was like, yeah, okay. I did like a minute total. And, fuck, that hurt so bad, man. And I was in the car afterwards just like, oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't mean to tell that whole story. It's just that when you applauded when I came up here, I felt, oh, that's nice, that helps. That's it. Sorry. It's too long. Anyway, but it's nice to see you all here, and it's kind of funny to see you all because I fucked all of your mothers. Just so it's a coincidence, kind of. All of your mothers. That's what I was going to open with. I was just in Ireland, and they have these posters. In Ireland, there's an election going on, and all over Europe right now, actually, for the whatever. I don't fucking care. It's not here, so it doesn't matter. They fucking don't matter at all. So, but I'm in Ireland, and there's an election, and there's a guy whose poster says, "Stop the pedophiles." That's his slogan. Stop the pedophiles. And here's the thing, even if you're against the pedophiles, I wouldn't want my face with pedophiles all over the nation that I live in, you know? And I told that to an Irishman, and he said, you know, actually, we say pedophiles. I'm like, hey, I've been fucking kids for 10 years. Don't tell me that I think I would know. I speak with some authority when you say pedophiles. What else that's horrible? I've just been having horrible thoughts. I was going by a wedding, and there's this beautiful, I was going by a church, this wedding was coming out, and it was just so beautiful, and I kind of couldn't resist. I ran up to the groom and I said, you fucking liar! I sucked your cock! You said we were going to Massachusetts! Stereotypical gay guy. Here's the thing, right? It's not cool, right, to make fun of stereotypical gay people, but there are some gay guys who talk like that. There are gay guys who wear shorts that are really tight, and then those sleeve shirts can go, you're an asshole! And those guys are silly. And they should be laughed at. Not all to say, hey, all gay people act like this is wrong, but to point out that a gay guy that acts like that is funny, it's just fucking true. They're hilarious. Hello! There are gay guys who act like that, and they're fucking ridiculous. Of course they are. Just like when you see a black guy, there are black guys who go, shit, motherfucker! That shit's funny. It's weird to talk like that. It's weird to go, no, shit! With your hand like that, that's funny. You know, and it's not wrong to make fun of Jews that they're all Jewy, you know? Anyway, that's what Jews get. Jewy. I'm sick of hearing the stereotype that Jews love money. It's just not true. I have this friend who's Jewish, and I tried to give him $1, and he was like, "Arr! Arr!" He hates money.
Everybody has different words that offend them, different things that they hear that they get offended by. To me, the thing that offends me the most is every time that I hear the N-word. Not nigger, by the way. I mean the N-word. Literally, whenever a white lady on CNN with nice hair says the N-word, that's just white people getting away with saying nigger. That's all that is. They found a way to say nigger. N-word. It's bullshit, because when you say the N-word, you put the word nigger in the listener's head. That's what saying a word is. You say the N-word and I go, oh, she means nigger. You're making me say it in my head. Why don't you fucking say it instead and take responsibility for the shitty words you want to say? I have 2 kids. I try to be a better person around my kids. I really do. I try to change my behavior around them. Like, I have rules in my house. They all apply to me. Like, I have a rule that I don't curse around my kids. It's a rule. It does happen. You know, sometimes you have a stressful moment, you're with your kids, so you say something by mistake. Like, one time I was making dinner for my kids, and I gave my daughter a bowl of soup, and I said, here's your fucking soup. But, you can see how that was a tough situation. You're supposed to teach your kids right from wrong. I don't know, it's confusing, you know? Some people raise their kids religiously, and that kind of covers it. They kind of go, all this, do that. I'm not raising my kids religiously, because I don't feel like it. Just get up on a Sunday, fuck that. Fuck that. Let your souls rot, kids. I don't care, I'm not getting... Daddy, who... But my kids, you know, they're living in the world, and there's a lot of religion in the world, so you do have to teach your kids, if you're not raising them religiously, you do have to teach them about religion, you know? I always tell my kids the same thing. I tell them that there are many religions in the world, and they're all equal, but the Christians are the main one. That's what I tell them. The Christians won, they're the winners, so act accordingly. Congratulate Christians when you meet them, because they won the world. And it's true. It's true. We love to tell ourselves, like, every religion is exactly... No, they're not. The Christians won everything a long time ago. If you don't believe me, let me ask you a question. What year is it? I mean, come on. What year is it according to the entire human race? And why? What year is it? Anybody, sir, just yell out the year. Thank you. 2016. No, it's 20. That's right. It's 2017. What is that? That's a important number, because we're counting to it in unison as a species. For thousands of years, we've been going 1, 2, 3. Come on, everybody. 4. And now, come on, Africa. 5, 6. What is this number? We're counting the days since what? Since there was ever people, or since the sun did a something? Not at all. It's been 2017 years since what? Anybody, yell it out. Yes, Christ! Christ! That's right. It's been 2017 years since Christ Jesus. We are counting the days since Jesus together. Which makes sense if you're Christian, but what the fuck are the rest of us doing?
Jesus was here. Everybody, scientists, historians, Jesus. Jesus. Jesus plus 2. Jesus plus 3. Jesus plus 4. Jesus plus 2017 years, 4 months, and 3 days is when your license expires. How is that not a win for the Christians? How is that not a complete win? That's not a Monday off in October. That's there was no time before Jesus. And the whole world's going, okay, sure. And then somebody was like, what about the years before him? There were billions, I mean, infinity. Those go backwards. You want us to measure most of history backwards? To accommodate one religion? Uh-huh. All right, we'll do it. It's fine. We'll do it. Watch New Year's Eve around the world. They always show you like how every country celebrates. It's kind of cool. The first, there's one little island. It's the first place that's actually the place that it's the year. It's a little island in the Pacific. I forget what it's called, but the people, they do a little ceremony for New Year's Eve every year. And they just wear grass. Because they don't even have sticks yet. They're in the grass age. They have no clocks, but they do a dance. 2017. And it goes around the world. Oh, it's 2017. Death to all Christians in 2017. The Jews are quietly keeping track. It's really 5,766, but that's for us. We're just, that's okay. We're just keeping track for when you snap out of it. It's all right. I'll write yours on my check. I don't want a problem. What about Chinese New Year? Yeah, what about Chinese? All right. Next time you're doing your taxes, just write monkey where the year goes. Just put monkey. See what happens to your funds. No, it's 2017, year of our Lord. Jesus-y, a clock on the nose. And they made it up. That's the weirdest part, is they got to rename years that had already taken place. Because you know that's not what those years were. You know that, right? That the year 3 wasn't the year 3 during the year 3. Nobody was walking around back then. Hey, what year is it? It's 3. Yeah, but I'm 28. How can I be 28? There's only been 3. Oh, well, see, you were born in BC 24, and there's a 0. Remember it went backwards? Oh, shit, that was stressful. I hated those years. What was that like? What year is it? 10. Gonna happen! So I don't know what to tell my kids. My kids are, they wanted a dog, so I got them a dog. I got them a dog this year, which was a mistake. I shouldn't have gotten the dog. Because we rescued a dog. We got we adopt. Yes, you must, yes, always rescue. If you get a dog, get a rescue dog. Don't get a puppy from those horrible people who professionally raise dogs carefully. No. You need to just get a mystery dog that's been beaten and abused and traumatized on the streets of Puerto Rico and can't talk about it to anyone now. They never know. Do you know anything about the dog? She's afraid of pennies. So we think maybe somebody's been throwing handfuls of pennies at her face. But otherwise, no. So you take this random dog and just put it in your house with your family and watch their personality unfold. This dog is insane. I'll walk into the kitchen and the dog's just standing there alone like this. Like, you all right? Are you all right? My kids are terrified of the dog. My daughter goes to pet the dog. The dog goes like this. She's like, should I pet her? I don't think you should ever pet our dog, honey. So I took her to the vet. I took the dog to the vet to ask her what to do. And the vet said, listen, I think there's something you should seriously consider. I was like, please be saying to kill this dog. Please be a doctor that says the dog dies now. But she didn't. She said, I think you should consider Prozac for the dog. I was like, really? She said, yeah, it works. Calms the dog right down. But it's a big decision and you should think about it. I said, put 4 in her asshole right now. What do I have to think about? I don't give a shit what she's experiencing. Fucking fix it. Give her heroin. Shoot her up. Come on, puppy. That's why your dog is really chill. Yeah. It only costs $400 a day to keep her like that. I didn't always feel this way. I used to love animals. I used to worry about animals. Just animals. When I was like 20, are all the doggies okay everywhere? I certainly hope so. But I'm 49 and I got 2 kids now. You know what happens? Your circle of concern tightens. I have 4 nephews. I don't love any of them. Fuck a dog. You know those ads, like the PSA on television about abused animals? They show you a dog with like an empty socket and he's like, ooh. They're always wet. I feel like they hose them down before they film them. Ooh. And the voice comes on, look at these dogs. Please send us money so that this can stop. Are you beating up the dogs? How's my money fixing that? You ever seen that PSA where they show you a really sad man? He's very upset, very sad man. He's holding a little sign, and it says, yeah, sure. And he says, this is the text that killed my daughter. Because somebody texted, yeah, sure, and ran over his kid, which is awful. Although maybe they were responding to a text that said, can you please kill that kid? And so they just wrote back and did it.
That's not usually my problem. These days my problem is very simple. It's trying to find a place in my house where I can masturbate without somebody bothering me. And that's really difficult. There's nowhere to go anymore. She's got her mother staying with us too in the guest room, and I'm on the streets now. I got nowhere to go. Like, now I know when I see a guy in the West Side Highway jerking off in plain daylight, that's not a homeless guy, that's a married man right there. He's got nowhere to go. Fuck it. Fuck you. Go ahead and look, man. I got nothing. What else am I going to do? It's not fair, man. I'm 37 and I own my home. I should be able to just stand in the living room. How you doing, honey? Good morning. But I can't. I got to hide. I'm down in the cellar by the boiler like a troll down there. Just fucking miserable. Shit.
That's what it's like. Masturbation doesn't bring much joy to guys. Women seem to like masturbating. They put flower petals on the pillow. They're like, ah, me, or whatever, you know. The guys are like, ah, shit, no, fucking God damn it. Sometimes you find ecstasy, but it's followed by the deepest self-hate and depression you've ever felt. It's an amazing drop from way up here to this, like, oh, yeah, what the fuck is wrong with me? God damn it. I gotta get to work. I don't have time for this shit right now. But then you get married, now you gotta hide. And you have to. You have to hide. Because when your wife catches you masturbating, that's sad for the whole family. That's not a good moment in a marriage. She comes in the cellar. Oh my God. And then she always wants to know shit about it. She always asks me stuff. My wife's like, well, do you think about me when you're doing that? What are you, fucking high? Why would I do that? What? I can think about anybody. That's magical. Why the fuck would I'm married to you. What do women really think their husbands are going, oh, my wife. Oh, yeah, that's fucking hot. Oh, yeah. Picking her up at the airport and getting yelled at. Oh, that's fucking hot. Yeah. Put it in the hamper, not on top, you idiot. Oh, I love when she talks like that. Yeah.